before the meeting, but
Oh, yeah.
do that before 4 minutes before the meeting.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you saying when they bring up the subject, just come up and ask the question?
But hang on here. You have a right to make a comment. Or you're obligated to answer the question.
I was gonna plug in some numbers and change.
Then that means that.
Is it broke? There may be a hairline flap.
You know, the next.
Why this one like that?
You know, at one time, Carol, thought she goes.
I don't know what. Some people don't think. Or the light is. We did that. Oh, yeah, this is very light. The tile projects. Nice. So it's glue down, glues, cemented.
Here you go.
Okay.
And then they store.
We're out of water bottles.
Oh, really?
We have one Coke bottle left for the kids, and that's it. You know, I go for the 2-liter bottles, but I'm a heavy drinker. I didn't think about it. Water.
Like everybody.
Yeah. How you like it?
Oh, so much fun.
Different, but apparently it's retirement is hazardous. At least some of us find that way. Well, if you pick people. Well, that's true, but then again, she's on the board of directors. Well, that reason to get paid. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I got 10 o'clock. Does anybody else disagree? Okay. Good morning. My name is Don Barber. I'm the secretary of the board of directors for Riverland Inc. Riverland is the second oldest 55+ residential community in the state of Florida. And in my opinion, is the best one. Yeah. I'll be chairing today's business meeting as the designee of President Bob Schultz, who is participating in today's meeting, but remotely. Bob is one of several directors participating remotely. Technical issues are always a possibility, especially for George, who's in an area where cell phone reception is not that great. Should we lose the quorum of the board, I will suspend today's business meeting to a later date and time, quote unquote, how the bylaws, which will be the 10 a.m. August 21st business meeting. And at this point, would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag. The republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tony? Remain standing.
Oh, gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for this community. Thank you for all the work that the maintenance man is doing and the board of directors is doing. Put us on the right track. Lord, we thank you for watching over us, leading us, guiding us, and blessing us each and every moment of each and every day. Just ask that you'll watch over this meeting and let it be conducted under your rules. We pray in Jesus' name.
Roll call. President Bob Schultz.
Here.
I don't know if you guys can hear, but he said here. Treasurer Dickie Sanford here. Secretary Don Barber here. Transfer Director Susan Starr.
Here.
Compliance Director and Maintenance and Pool Director Mike Vespasiano. Mike, are you there? What's the show on?
Oh.
Mike, please unmute. Theo? Is the show muted? Right there.
Showing muted.
Mike, please unmute.
Did you hear Bob?
I did hear Bob. Would you mind giving him a call on the phone?
I figured I'd see him.
Marina Director, George Anastasio. Showing George. Oh. Not surprisingly, we've lost George, okay? We still have 4 people, so we can continue.
We can. Trying to get. He's gonna get on. Go on there yet? Okay,
Give him a minute. Okay. Approval of the agenda is handled in the consent agenda. The approval of the minutes is handled in the consent agenda. Approval of the agenda. Does any board member have any changes to the agenda? Any shareholders have any questions about the agenda? We have one change. Today we are going to swap items 3.5 and 3.6. This is director reports. Normally George would go after Mike. Mike, however, has several photographs for the shareholders to view today, so we're going to move him to the last. Okay, in terms of director reports, President Bob Schultz.
Good morning. We've got about over a dozen people online with Zoom, which seems fairly consistent. So appreciate everyone that's able to attend the meeting via Zoom. Continuing work with Florida Power and Light, trying to work with them on a street light program on Riverland. One of the agenda items that will be reviewed today is a contract with an engineer firm looking at the seawall to initiate permitting program for placing riprap on the exterior of that. So we'll be continuing those efforts over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can bring it forward in August. Thank you.
Mr. Dickie Sanford.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
I'll start with the balances. The South State balance, operating account balance is 134,393. I don't know if we ever talked about it a whole lot, but there's 2 accounts in there, the savings account and the checking account. They're connected. We try to maximize savings amount against the checking account that we need the money to pay bills, because we get a return on that money. We get maybe $100, $120 a month on the savings money by doing that. And we need enough in there too to hold the reserves. But the reserve our unexpected items come up, we've got enough money to immediately address it. Couple other things, I guess some other good news from the financial side. We've got about a $5,000 credit coming to us from the water bill. So that'll be helpful. I was looking through the financials and saw something that looked like we may have some money coming back to us, and we do. Dahlia called, processed it, and that's always a good thing. And we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to go to the financials, look for other areas where there may be money returned to us. And we're going to continue to follow up with electric bills and anything else that may be there. excuse me, still getting over a cold or something. Couple other things, we've made some progress with social clubs getting their own federal ID numbers. History's done some great work with that, helping them along with that process. It's something that needs to be done. When they use our federal ID number, they're representing themselves as a for-profit co-op. They're not. So that makes their income taxable to us. So we're encouraging, to continue with that process and make good progress with that, right, Leslie?
We're just waiting.
Yeah. So they'll be, okay. So they'll be represented as a nonprofit, 501c social club, non-taxable as they should be. Yeah. Yeah. And the only one that's, I'm gonna throw them under the bus a little bit. The only one that's dragging their feet a little bit is the Voters Club. So Toby, listen up. Oh, okay, I got you. Gotcha. But Leslie is there to help. She's proficient with the process, and reach out to her and continue to do that, because the longer we go misrepresenting yourself as an entity is not a good thing.
Right.
So the audit, the CPA audit, gone well. It was a full audit as opposed to review. We've done a review for the last 10 plus years. An audit will look at internal control, not only financials. We look at our presented financial data for 2024. We had a couple of year-end adjustments to make. Most of them are accruals. We fixed that process in 2025. Leslie books the accruals as they come in, so we shouldn't have the same issue in 2025. And they book depreciation. We've done the same thing in 2025. We've updated depreciation for 2025, so we'll mitigate some of those issues going into next year. They did look at internal controls. They gave us a clean bill of health. We did make some transition to some changes in 2024 with internal controls, and they looked at our high end for an internal control review, which basically means that we've got processes in place that not any one person unilaterally doing everything in one particular procedure. For example, Dahlia will book the ACH payments and Leslie will post them. Dahlia will process accounts payable after vetting with the directors, and I will approve those account payables. So they were on board with that. We've got a draft. We responded to the draft for some clarifying issues, and once we kind of go through that, we'll be able to issue financials and we'll post them to the website. We'll have footnotes, information on internal controls, everything we've done. Excuse me. On sort of a high level, I sort of asked him, I said, where do we stand? Where does Riverland stand? Because this particular CPA firm, they specialist in co-ops and associations. That's their niche, and that's one of the reasons why we went with them. But they said they gave us a good report. They basically said that you guys are on par with professional run boards, if not more so, or professional management companies. Yeah. And that's it. And the budget, we're going to start working on the budget. I've got a template laid out. Get with the budget committee, let them take a look at the template. We've got 5 months or 6 months worth of financial data. We're waiting to get maybe 7, 8 months worth of financial data to really start getting into the budget. But we are on track with the reserves on the budget. We did take a look at the reserves. A lot of stuff has been addressed from the 2023 study, so we need to realize some assets and that sort of thing, and we've done that process. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dickie.
Don, I'm on now. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
We
I'm
hear
on.
you, Mike.
Okay. I had a little technical difficulty because of
I understand, Mike. Okay, just one quick note here. Most of the current board has been on the board since February 2024. Today's business meeting is actually the 18th meeting over the last 17 months that the board has assembled in front of the shareholders. to conduct the business of the corporation in the manner prescribed by the shareholders. The pace of life here at Riverland certainly is different in the summer, but the business of the corporation continues all year round. I'd like to thank everyone who's here today and participating remotely to help recognize the fact that business at Riverland is actually a 24/7, 365-year business. Thank you. Since the board last met, the board has taken 2 actions without meeting, both of them for the approval of permanent residents. Lois Gibbs, Lot 8, Lois Gibbs, Lot 8, and Adam Joseph, Lot 133, are now permanent residents of Riverland. Copies of these 2 board actions, along with all the other board actions, are on file in the Riverland office. Efforts to release the new edition of the Riverland Rules and Regulations is on track. I'm currently targeting an August release date. The hearing committee. The hearing committee assembled to conduct 2 hearings in July. Both hearings were for the same shareholder. The shareholder did not participate in the hearings, and the hearing committee upheld the fines. Hearings are step 3 of the Riverland compliance process. Moving on to step 4 requires the board to wait until a monetary obligation due Riverland is more than 90 days delinquent. The milestone for the July hearings will be reached shortly before the October board meeting. Since the board last assembled, 1 shareholder has submitted a written request for records in 4 areas. The first was for a record involving another shareholder for work done sometime prior to February 2024. Those records could not be located. The second was for 18 months of meeting minutes. That request was later withdrawn. The third request was for paperwork, somewhat vague. And the fourth request was for copies of all complaints made against that shareholder. For both these requests, the time period was specified from 2024 to 2025 year to date. That request has been met. This is the result, about 180 some pages. It's available for review in the office. It's actually also been uploaded to the website. The file is so big it had to be uploaded in 3 different files. In spite of the size of it, Riverland did meet the response requirement of 10 business days outlined in the Florida statute. And that's about it. Susan?
Okay. Okay.
Hold it closer. It's on.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay. Okay, we haven't had too much activity with transfers. Just have a few upcoming. But I'm also the county liaison. As far as that goes, our count committee membership is down to 6, where 8 is considered optimal. Additional volunteers have been solicited on more than one occasion, and the board has appointed all suitable volunteers to the committee. Riverland is required by the Florida Administrative Code to have this committee, but it is not required to staff it with only shareholders. Individual board members are now examining various options when it comes to staffing this committee with non-shareholders. But no go-forward plan has been decided upon. and I would like to avoid the board having to even consider doing so. So if you have ever considered volunteering for a board committee, please consider doing so now for this vital, must-have committee required by the state of Florida. Any interested shareholders should advise the Riverland office by letter or mail. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. George, is there any chance that you have joined us? Okay, Mike, you're up.
Okay. Thank you, Don.
Slide.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're gonna have to speak up, Mike. We can hear you, but you're gonna have to speak up.
How's that?
Yeah.
Better.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Let's go over some grounds issues that we've been going through and accomplishments for the last few months. Some hurricane palms have been trimmed and completed by Brandon. All 3 oases have been done along with the Wall Street palms on all the streets too. Brandon did a heck of a job trimming all the stuff all around the park, staying on top of stuff. Also, he started on the top of 9th Street behind Joe Lure's house and worked his way down the wall on the divider from Oasis property line and cleaned up all the way down to the maintenance garage. He filled up probably 3 dump trucks, and Tony could verify that, going to the dump with all the brush and overgrown plants and stuff in there. He did a nice job. As you can see, some of the pictures that are on the screen behind you, that's all the work that he cleaned out and stuff on 9th Street. Also, removal of the old fence down at the maintenance garage that was all broken and short and keeling over. He dug that out, stored the wood in the back of the garage, the extra lumber that was used for the dock repair, and installed a new vinyl fence 8 feet high. We moved the fence about 4 feet closer to the road for the simple fact that we don't want to have the trailers outside the property, and it was an eyesore for everybody to see there when you're going by. So I know if I lived across the street, I wouldn't want to look at trailers out my window. So they're more self-contained. It looks a lot nicer. It's cleaner area. We put the stone around it just so the fact that the landscapers don't damage the fence when they go around trimming the edges, and they did a nice job with that. He continued to clean the areas around the front of the clubhouse, all the areas. He painted the stone or the concrete borders white so they really pop out in the front with the blue trim on the building and stuff, and it really looks nice. I think now everybody makes some compliments on that. Really did a nice job on that work there too. We planted a few trees on the right side of the clubhouse office you see over there. They really took off, and I want to thank Susan for bringing to our attention that we had some infestation with some bugs, and Brandon sprayed it, and that took care of that, and it's blooming like crazy. From what I understand, it took off pretty good. Clubhouse kitchen, as everyone can see, is going under construction, and the guys put the new tile in, which is great. They should be finishing up the edges on that there for the pick plates and stuff, and probably grouting, according to Tony. That's the report, and I want to thank Tony DiLorenzo for staying on top of this and overseeing the project with me on this here. He's my eyes and ears, and he's doing a great job. Also, the hurricane checks. Tony's doing the hurricane checks. So some of the people that left the park, I want to make mention of that. Turned into hurricane preparedness sheets. If you're away for a few weeks or for the season, he's following up, making sure everything's done in accordance to our rules and everything is shut off the water. Hurricane shutters are closed, and everything is secure around the residents' home. So thanks again, Tony. I want to send a shout out for Karen DiLorenzo also for buying the new door handles for the cabinets behind our directors there that Tony installed. So it makes it a lot easier to open them drawers. From what I understand, Ronnie Perone and the exercise group that go in there, they store some of the equipment and stuff in there, and it makes it a little bit easier with less stress on the wrist when you're opening those drawers. So thanks again, Karen. The next item is Coastal Irrigation finished up their work on the sprinkler system in the front of the wall by the pool area going down to 7th Street. We had a couple issues with some of the time delays and the sprinkler heads that were buried and the shutoffs that were overgrown in the bushes. So they found those. They finished getting everything up and running with Brandon. Brandon has a good view and a good idea where everything is, and he's very well educated now with the system. So that's a plus. So everything's on automatic. So we don't have to worry about the system going off at different hours of the night and running all continuously. So everything's on time, on a time system. It's working great. One thing with the pool, I want to just make mention, everybody's happy from the feedback I'm getting from a lot of the residents and stuff that the pool is great. The water's been crystal clear. We're very happy, I have to say, with the new pool contractor that's maintaining the pool, and also that Dale's doing a hell of a job when he's here monitoring the readings and making sure the pool level water is up to par. Okay. Now we will go into compliance. Looks like we're about 85% total for roof and siding cleaning on all the homes in Riverland. That means there's probably 10 to 15% left of the homes, but those homes basically have asphalt shingle roof, or they have a metal pitch roof, which don't require any cleaning. But I want to give a shout out to all the residents that stepped up and did their cleaning and responsibility on keeping Riverland clean and the homes sparkling for the rest of us in the park. And we have a nice area to look at. Don made mention around the compliance with the hearing committee, so I could skip over that. Reminder of all the residents here too about recycling. I like to just touch base about the aluminum cans, metal brought to the shop in the dumpster. Large plastic trash cans are labeled. If you want to donate the metal cans, your soda cans, cooking cans, sauce cans, whatever, those are going into the scrap that we turn in for the metal. The regular bulk pickup entails any bulk pickup, metal, microwave, stuff like that. If you're going to put it out there, I know some people turn around and bring it behind the garage, which is fine because we have it a little bit organized now, better for Brandon, and he seems to have everything better organized, so to say. The last thing I like to talk about, basically, the 2 stop signs on the top of Front Street. The one by Brian's house on the top of 5th that we just installed about 5 months ago. And then the obvious one that's been there in front of the clubhouse. These must be adhered to the rules. I see the camera and I occasionally go on camera and I see a lot of people blowing through those stop signs. And I hate to see somebody come on a bike and getting hit on a bicycle or a golf cart or another car. It's just people take for granted. I don't think anybody's coming, but don't forget the incoming traffic that is coming into the park in the driveway has the right of way. They don't have to stop. So if that person's making a wide turn in the driveway and you're blowing through that stop sign, it's an accident waiting to happen. We're trying to be very precautious here. We want to be proactive. That's why the stop signs are there. So please stop at the stop signs and also stop at the end of the streets. Just be courteous, and you have to be safe. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike. George, is there any chance you've joined us since then? Okay, before we get into the agenda items, we don't have much to cover. By statute, shareholders have the right to speak on any item on the agenda. If you wish to comment about something that's not on the agenda, wait to item number 7, shareholder comments. That's the reason why it's there. It's your opportunity to talk about something that's not on the agenda. Today, I'll likely be a little bit more formal than we were last month and start using my authority as the chairperson to start recognizing speakers and as necessary, withdraw that recognition. First item is unfinished business. This is easy to dispense of. We have no unfinished business this meeting. Any shareholder comments, questions? Thank you. Underneath new business, item 5.1 is the consent agenda. The board has identified certain routine matters to be actioned with a single motion. And details are in attachment 1. Does any member of the board want anything withdrawn from the consent agenda? Any shareholder want anything withdrawn from the consent agenda? Any shareholder comments? We have a motion for item 5.1.
So moved.
You, Bob, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Vicky? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes. 5.2 is an agreement for riprap engineering cost. For some time now, the board has been looking at different options for extending the life of our, what we typically call the Riverland seawall. Currently under consideration is the placement of riprap against the bulkhead to protect the existing structure. We've reached the point where we need to engage the services of a qualified engineering firm for, believe it or not, engineering services in order to determine the likelihood of obtaining permits. The idea is to not only install the riprap, but also install appropriate jetties, walkways, or extensions to ensure that Riverlanders still have access to the river. These engineering specifications are not only needed for the permitting work, but also to develop a sourcing strategy, support shareholder communication efforts, and so forth. But at this time, the only thing that is being sought is the board's authorization to have the president sign a contract for engineering services with Corbett Structural Engineering. Bob, did you want to add anything to this?
I think that pretty well covers it, Don. We're hoping to engage the engineer and then a draft of those plans to be presented to all the shareholders as that progresses before we apply for a permit.
Thank you, Bob. Does any shareholder wish to make any comments? Step forward. One moment. The board recognizes shareholder Ted Lorenzo.
Thank you. My question is, getting an engineer to look into riprap, but are we also looking into vinyl sheet piling in front of the wall?
Bob, do you want to take that one?
It would likely be considered, but the costs are prohibitively expensive for the vinyl sheet piling. At this point, some of the early pricing we got on riprap was substantially less. But we're going to keep all those avenues open as we move it forward. It's going to depend upon Florida DEP approval of what we can do with the wall.
Bob. Chair recognizes shareholder Bonziak.
Is the board looking into insurance concerns possibly with riprap? We may have boats that go down the river, go into the riprap, and what is our liability if that happens?
Bob, if I can speak for you, I think right now we're a little premature. We're not even sure we can get riprap authorized through permitting.
I would
It's
agree.
something to keep in mind. Bob, did you want to add something?
I would agree with that.
Okay. Any other shareholders wish to make? Shareholder recognizes shareholder Souza. Board, the chair recognizes shareholder Souza.
Good morning. Just curious, did anybody go to the Martin County Plan Review and meet with somebody there prior to spending the $3,000 for the engineering? Because they're really good about going there, sitting in front, planning what you want to do. Review person will sit there, give you what your setbacks are. I'm sure the engineer knows what he's doing, but obviously before we spend the money, we definitely want to make sure that the plan review is going to be possibly accepting this.
Well, I can speak to that, but you're welcome to go try it yourself.
The permit would be an environmental permit. It wouldn't, I wouldn't anticipate a construction permit from the county on it.
Thank you. Any other shareholders?
What did he say? I don't understand what that means.
He says the permitting here is an environmental permitting, not a construction permitting.
Environmental, putting docks and.
Hang on, shareholder, hang on here. Bob, the shareholder is asking for some clarification.
Anything we do with the wall will require Florida environmental permitting, and that's the effort we're pursuing at this point in time. I wouldn't expect any county permitting because it's not a building per se.
So right now, the permitting would be the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, not Martin County. Bob? We lost him.
No, that's correct.
Okay, that's correct. Does any shareholder have any other questions?
Well, it will be the same thing.
Hold it. If you have a comment, please step forward. I'm sorry, we have folks participating by Zoom. Does any shareholder? The chair recognizes shareholder Souza.
Sorry, I guess you didn't answer my question. So anybody, depending wherever it's involved, whether it's environmental, because when I went through my building, I had to go through 3 different departments. So is somebody going to be able to do that? I'll be glad to go do that. If you have prospective plans, I'll go meet with somebody.
Bob, can I take this one?
We're fine proceeding as we currently are. Certainly not with that assistance. Thank you.
Any other shareholder comments? Any comments from the board? In regard to agenda item 5.2, agreement for riprap engineering costs, may I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? 5.2 passes. Thank you. 5.3, maintenance employee contract. Believe it or not, Brandon's been here a year. Again, if you wish to make a comment, I'll ask you to come forward here. Okay. The president has, we've developed an agreement with him. This agreement is actually for the balance of this year and all of next year. The president is seeking the board's authorization to execute the agreement with Brandon Carroll, our maintenance employee. Any shareholder comments? Okay, thank you. Any shareholder comments? The board or the chair recognizes shareholder De Lorenzo.
Yes, I would like to say that he is a hard worker. I've worked with him. He doesn't stop. And he is very conscientious because he goes beyond what I would go if I were doing something. So we're really blessed to have him.
Clearly the power of the youth.
Yes.
Any other shareholder comments? Any board comments? In regard to agenda item 5.3, may I have someone make the motion?
So moved. So
Is that-
moved.
Thank you, Bob. Second,
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? 5.3 passes. 5.4, temporary bookkeeper contract. As previously authorized by the board, a temporary employee has been recruited to provide in-house bookkeeping services for the balance of 2025. It is a temporary position. Dahlia Bushy, some of you may know her, has accepted a temporary position. An employment agreement has been drafted for her services. The president is seeking board authorization to execute the same. Any shareholder comments? The chair recognizes shareholder Tobin.
Just a point of clarification, I, for one, and everybody else, greatly appreciate all the hard work done. But I thought there was resolution that we can have the shareholders in employee. Or is this because it's temporary or?
This really doesn't have a whole lot to do with this motion, but you're referring to a shareholder motion voted on in the last annual meeting where the shareholders did not support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just needed
It
clarification.
changed.
I didn't want you guys to.
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yes. And if somebody has more details and questions about that past motion, I'll be happy to pull out the paperwork and we'll review it. Okay? Come on up. The chair recognizes shareholder Houston.
For anyone who has not ever gone into the office, you have no idea. The office is Dahlia's home.
Yeah.
She's she's a volunteer that volunteers her life in there and does such a wonderful job. We couldn't be luckier to have her. And I can't see why we cannot put her on and get paid for all the time that she gives to Riverland and its shareholders. She does such a great job.
Yes.
Leslie too.
Any other shareholder comments? Any board comments?
I would, Don. I like
Go
to
ahead.
thank also Dahlia and Leslie. I would comment on their excellent work together as a team in the office.
Yeah.
Any other board comments? In regard to motion 5.4, may I have, who's making the motion?
So moved.
Motion.
Okay. Who would like to second?
I
Second.
second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Dahlia, do you wish to oppose? Any abstain? Okay, motion 5.4 passes. Thank you, folks. Okay, motion 5.5. I'll try to make a short one, a long one short. Article 5 out of our Riverland Rules and Regulations authorize shareholders to keep certain items on porches, carports, breezeways, driveways, and so forth. There is also a process by which you can request the board authorization to keep something else. Shareholder Angela Souza is one of 3 shareholders who were provided hearings in May 2025. Unlike the other 2 shareholders, she has actually paid her fine. The items for which the hearing involved 4 different issues, which she has already addressed 2, and the 2 remaining ones, one of them is being addressed as a separate line. The other one is a carport. The shareholder has request, as permitted by Article 5F2, to keep a couch on the end of her carport until the end of July. She's indicated that this will enable her to address by the end of July one of the 2 remaining compliance issues. For operational efficiency, I am recommending that the board grant the request as it moves any potential future compliance step 4 process until next month. The other 2 shareholders involved in the May hearings have not yet paid their fines, but compliance action requires that the fines be more than 90 days delinquent, which will occur shortly before the August meeting. Granting shareholder Souza's request, We'll shift any possible future step 4 compliance matters also to August, which will allow the board to address all 3 potential step 4 compliance matters in the same time. Since these actions can include the suspension of shareholder rights or access to common areas, or even lead to termination of a shareholder's proprietary lease in step 5, compliance actions underneath steps 4 or 5 are very time consuming, and the board might as well address all 3 shareholders involved, if needed, in the May hearing at the same time next month. See here, this is about it. Shareholders should be aware that the granting of this particular request has no impact on any other outstanding compliance issues. Does any shareholders wish to have a comment, make a comment? The board, the chair recognizes shareholder Susan.
Okay, so I don't really know where to start other than that everything is cleaned out of my carport. So with the daily running around, and as you said, I'm on the radar, why didn't anybody know that everything's already done? The couch is not on the porch. It hasn't been there since Monday. The carport is totally cleaned out. I don't appreciate that it says in the next thing that my property actually looks worse and that I'm holding it as a storage area. I sent pictures to Mike. Anything that I did have behind there, you clearly cannot see it. That brings my question as to, can you please explain what the 2-foot perimeter means? And if that includes the back of the property as well? And if there are exceptions to the rules, if there's other people here
That's not in conformance.
Shareholder,
I don't know
that
the
has
right
nothing to do with this agenda item. If you wish to talk about the 2-foot,
because nobody's paying attention
shareholder,
to-
please. Okay, I'm chairing the meeting. You can speak about an agenda item. If you wish to speak about the 2-foot parameter, you could do so during item 7.
Okay, I sent an email telling that
okay.
this was gonna already be
Shareholder
taken care
Souza,
of, so it
shareholder
shouldn't even be
Souza.
on the agenda.
Shareholder Souza, I revoke your recognition. Please sit down.
Right, so my
Please
question is
sit
though,
down.
are they being removed, being that
Please
it's taken care of?
sit down.
Jump to 5-6, get it done. As alternative, jump to 5-6. And then we can circle back if you want to.
No, we'll just do this.
Okay.
Does any shareholder have any other comments on 5.5? Any board member have any comments on 5.5? In regard to motion 5.5, I am making the motion. Does somebody wish to second it?
There's no motion to be made, it's cleaned up.
Shareholder Souza, you've not been recognized. Please stop being disruptive. In regard to 5.5, okay? Does somebody wish to second it?
Okay, sure.
You don't have to.
We got a second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? 5.5 passes. Thank you. 5.6 is a reimbursement. I think for $15 and change to me. Okay. Directors receive no salary, although I have kidded about my salary being doubled. Next slide. Okay. In any case, I'm seeking reimbursement for 2 different items, both of them involving keys. Any questions, shareholder comments? Board comments? May I have somebody make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? I will have to abstain. Motion passes 5.6.
To the middle.
It's in the it's in the mail?
Yeah.
Okay, shareholder correspondence. There's since the agenda, as of the date the agenda was finalized, no shareholders had requested their views and opinions be conveyed to the rest of the shareholder community. Just want to point out, guys, back in 17 months ago, this board established a practice that if you wish to convey your views or opinions to the rest of the community, you do not have to go to the expense of printing up flyers or distributing things or doing mass mailings and things like that. We will actually put it in the agenda upon your request. Okay. That's happened, I think, at least 3 times so far. Okay. Shareholder comments. This is the open-ended item. Does any shareholder wish to make any comments? Shareholder Susan, would you like to make any comments?
Well, are we going to Article 5 or?
We're in agenda item 7.
Do we skip 5?
No, we're finished with 5.
Okay.
Any shareholders wish to make any comments? The chair recognizes shareholder Houston.
I just want to take the opportunity to really thank the board and Brandon. I don't feel the shareholders really realize just how much Riverland was not in compliance with Florida rules and regulations, the only reason I feel I should say something is my family was involved with this. My son-in-law's company came out. Oh, sorry. My son-in-law has a commercial HVAC company. His company handles Cleveland Clinic. They follow the regulations. They follow everything. They know what it is. And came out to look at the air conditioning system and the service contract and stated that a lot of the things that have been done to Riverland's systems are illegal and were not done to code. And this is why it's costing so much to have things done correctly in Riverland. So many things were band-aid. So many things were not corrected, just made to look like they were. And what the board is having to go through, and we don't even know it, and I wouldn't have known it, is unbelievable. And Brandon, with this harassment that he seems to keep getting, and all the work that he does, and this board really needs to be appreciated and realized that they are following things to the T and that they are doing things the way they are to be mandated. Thank you.
Any other shareholders wish to make comments? The chair recognizes shareholder Barber.
I'm a very detailed person, so I thank you for having patience with me. First of all, I want to thank Sandy for what she just said. There are so many shareholders that do not speak out and say what she said. Thank you, Sandy. And then down to just normal business. On Dickie's report, I'm sorry, but I didn't hear where you said we got the $5,000 credit from.
Well, I was looking to the financials and I saw some prepaid items, like prepaid deposits.
Okay.
And I said, well, maybe there's money due back to us, from these prepaid deposits. And so I asked Dahlia to look into it. She did. Called them, and basically, evidently 2 requirements were there. We needed to ask for the money, evidently, and then we had a good track record of making payment for 2 years. But I think those deposits been on file for some time.
The city, okay, the city is
City of the water department.
That's what I didn't
But
get.
we're gonna look into the electrical and the other areas too.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another thing.
If I could just add on to this here too, okay? This was money that was placed on deposit with the city of Stuart, okay? It would have been there forever if we didn't ask about it.
Yeah.
Things like this is typically what one board, outgoing board, would brief the incoming board on.
There's lack of transition.
That transition that you would expect should happen in every community association did not happen in February of 2024. Sorry for interrupting.
And the audit brought it to light. I was able to look at the financials and some of the numbers and say, to check their audit numbers, and it jumped out at me.
Oh. Great, Dickie, for noticing that. Okay. All right, and just another thing is, I want to thank Mike for talking about all the things that he did, and specifically the stop signs. I just have to mention something that happened to me about a month ago. I come in, I was down to the store or something. I come driving in, right over there at that stop sign, okay, as I'm driving in to the left, there's a stop sign. I saw a big SUV come. I thought he was going to stop. I'm driving in. I just knew he was going to stop. I'm driving in from outside. He just went straight, like he was going over to that direction, straight from that stop sign, clear on over towards Front Street. He did not stop. I didn't stop either. I had to slam on my brakes within about a foot of his car, and I almost hit him right in the side because he did not stop at that stop sign. I come home all upset. Don's like, what's going on? And I'm like, some asshole didn't stop at the sign. He goes, okay, sorry you're having a bad day. So thank you, Mike, for mentioning that. And then another just normal routine thing. I have 2 bags at my house where I save like aluminum cans, and then I have one where I save metal cans, like for food. When I take them down to the shed now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to dump them all together. Like, do you like them mixed or do you like them separate? I always feel bad just mixing them because I feel like somebody has to go through and separate them. So do you want aluminum cans separate from metal cans? Sorry, boring question. Thank you.
Mike, did you want to take that last question?
Yes, I believe, and Tony could verify this, there's large garbage cans on the side of the garage where the dumpster is, and I think they're labeled. They have cans only, aluminum, that Brandon labeled. So anybody that dumps, I know some people put beer cans in some of them and so forth.
Mike, we're down to 1 can. We went down to 1 container down there, not 2.
All right,
That helped.
we'll have to make a accommodation for another dump, a trash pail. I'll tell Tony to look into that with Brandon. And he could do that?
Okay, Tony's nodding yes.
Okay, thank you.
Basically, Mike is saying, we'll take care of it.
Great.
Shareholder, the chair recognizes shareholder Cabanati? Chapatoni, sorry.
I just want to say, I believe that Bob Schultz, as being president, has been the best. Our board, you can't beat our board. And Dahlia and Leslie, thank you so much for everything that you do. It's really an asset to the park. I love it here, and we should all be grateful to all that you have done. So thank you so much.
Any other shareholder comments? The chair recognizes shareholder Del Lorenzo, yeah.
Hi, Mike, if I could say something on the can issue. When we can mix them because they have a big magnet that goes over and picks all the metal cans out of the aluminum cans. So that's not a big deal.
If I could suggest something for the maintenance director and the maintenance committee, let's work the can issue outside of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Teresa, do you want to talk again?
I just forgot a couple people. I'd like to thank Brandon and Tony DiLorenzo. They have done a beautiful job. And Tony has volunteered his time, and I think he should be recognized.
Any other shareholder wish to make any comment? Okay, moving on to agenda item 8. Considering that all the business of today has been actioned on my own authority as chair, I hereby adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for participating, including those participating remotely. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Now, good job.
An hour and 33 minutes.
I'm on board with your email about when they change your video.
Oh, okay.
The third one's a little, I don't know. I just bogged down with a lot of stuff.
Oh, actually.
Is that Toby? Tobin?
Toby?
Is that Toby? Oh, he's back.
Toby's here. Did you want to speak to him or you want
Tell
to
him
have
to
him
call
call
me
you?
later. Tell him to call me later, please. Tell him to call me
Oh,
later.
Mike? Yeah. Okay.
What do you want
Hi,
him to
Toby
call
will
you?
How do I turn this thing off? Okay.
Have a good day, Bob.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.